What's up, everyone? So I wanted to share this with you because I went to the gym yesterday, the gym basketball court, to go jump for the first time in like a month. Maybe not a month. That's maybe exact. Maybe a couple of weeks. I'm not sure. In a while. And of course, I was excited to get back, but more it was really for the sake of just jumping again to get my rhythm back, not trying to dunk basketballs, just shoot some hoops, and make sure my leg feels okay. That was the whole purpose. Can I do this and my leg feel okay? And it turned out it did. So I woke up this morning, no aches or pains. I'm still not really 100% sure what the heck I did to it the first time, but whatever. It seems to be doing just fine. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about our mental perception of our workouts. And so yesterday, or 2 days ago, because I'm making this the day after this video, I was in the weight room and I set a PR on my squat speed. So I've been doing velocity at 365 pounds, and I started at 0.44. I'm at 0.65 now is how fast I can lift it. So I hit a PR. I was feeling really good. I lifted pretty heavy in the weekend, but I also did some other pretty heavy stuff the last day and a half. And so I went to the gym yesterday, so after that heavy work, and so yesterday is Tuesday. Monday, I did heavy maximal eccentrics, and I set my PR on my squat speed, all this good stuff. And so I went to the gym yesterday, and I was like, yeah, I'm excited. I just set a PR, and I kind of jumped a little bit. I was hesitant because I didn't really want to jump too much. I didn't feel great, right? I was actually shooting jump shots to warm up, and I airballed a couple, and I was like, what the heck? Like, I shot it like 2 feet short, and I kind of laughed about it. But what was obviously happening is my legs were tired. No crap, I just did heavy eccentrics at like 500 pounds the day before. But what was interesting is I wanted to show you guys some graphs and how our perception of our training is important, but also understanding what perception leads to, because that's really important. If you're kind of a nerd like me and you're collecting data either objectively or subjectively, so objective like the actual speed at which the bar is moving, or subjective, how I feel, it's important to contextualize your training sessions. That way you don't go crazy when you try and look at, why or why not something is improving. So let's check out this graph really quick because it actually explains it really well. So what you see here is an example of my training days. So you see, this isn't the actual raw data, it's just used as an example. But you can see that, I had that peak one day, that yay, I set a new PR, I squatted well, and then obviously the next day I went to jump and I wasn't feeling very good. I didn't jump very high, I shot a bunch of air balls in the gym. My body was tired. Now, that makes a lot of sense, right? It's contextualized, specifically induced fatigue. Yeah, I did that on purpose because, well, I was working hard, and that's what happens when you train hard, you get tired. But let's dive into why that happens. So if we look at this slide here, when I have a PR, I get excited, and you can see these training blocks, and these training blocks kind of are the theoretical volume involved. And so I set a new PR, I get excited, and so I lift a lot of weight that day. And I have a great day. It's wonderful. And now for some reason, I am like the excitement king, and so then I'm like, okay, cool, let's go. And I'm going to go and train the next day and assume, because I hit a PR yesterday, I'm going to be great. But what happens is I actually don't perform that well. No crap, because I just trained really hard the day before. And so this makes total sense. Now what happens is then today I'm probably going to feel a lot better because I didn't train as hard. So what's happening is a perfect example of self-auto-regulation. Auto-regulation just means you are regulating yourself automatically without having to pre-plan it. And when I hit a PR, I work really hard and I do great. And when I'm tired, I'm not doing well and I pull it off and I'm not, going to train as much. And then I get an adaptation, I recover and I feel great again and I train really hard. And what this means for us as people that like to express our outputs with jumps and movements like that is that we need to keep in mind that if we go to the gym and don't jump that well, we have to contextualize it in our training days. And on top of that, if you really want to jump your best, we need to actually peak sometimes, or at least give our body some recovery. And so what this tells me, if I'm going to jump early in the week, like a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, I should do my heavy eccentrics Thursday or Friday, so that way I have Saturday and Sunday to recover a couple of days. It's just all about organizing your planning. And it's a perfect example of how poor organization of your training can actually reduce the effectiveness of your training. Because if that was my one day to jump, I ruined it because I wasn't ready physically. So it's just a great example. I love it so much. I'm such a nerd as to how programming properly can actually help you mentally have better results because you're actually going to perform well, but in general have better results. So that's my high power output day. I need to be fresh enough to do high power output movements. Just a great example, man. It's so perfect. It's so fitting. We have the data to back it up objectively. Look, I trained great, had a great training load, really high training load, but then subjectively too. It also might tell me that I haven't jumped a bunch, so maybe my jumping needs to be worked on a little bit from a skill standpoint and, well, from a high velocity standpoint. So I'm going to add some more high velocity movements in, well, some jumps and no crap. That seems like it'd be effective in my training, and hopefully that's going to help a little bit. And it's nice to jump again because then I can actually give some perception as to, oh yes, my legs feel fresh today. And I'll start tracking some of these metrics. I'm going to start tracking some jump heights daily with a small bit of load and sharing some of that on here as well. I'll probably be using the My Jump app. Why, might you ask, Max? You have force plates. Why would you use an app? Well, because it's easier than my phone, and I can just go outside and do it. It takes like 20 seconds. And I can just take it with me wherever I want. And so if I go traveling or whatnot, I can do it. It's a pretty cool little toy. So we'll try it, and if I don't like it, I have some other toys I can mess with as well. So as always, if you guys like this video, I appreciate y'all. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, and follow along. Leave your comments as what to hear next.